Yo, let's get to it. I've seen this effect in a couple projects, commercial projects and just personal things people have posted on social media, and I wanted to recreate it. We'll just go through. It's pretty straightforward. Working with the tracer and vertex maps primarily. Let's just delete stuff and rebuild it. Let's get a couple spheres. And we just want them in opposing positions on an axis, and then we'll need a plane, and we'll scale that up a little bit, and then we'll need some decent amount of subdivisions on it. Let's go something like 200, and then throw our planes in a null object, and then what we're going to do is just we're going to just rotate the null to animate the spheres, and set that to linear, and these are our spheres. Great. So they're moving, and we need a tracer object to follow behind these spheres to create the cool trails that we were seeing in that effect. And then we're gonna use that in a vertex map to displace the plane. So let's throw our tracer in there and drop our spheres in, and we want it to trace paths. That is correct. If we play it though, it's tracing every single vertex of the object you throw into it, which is cool, but not what we want in this case. So let's turn off trace vertices, and then it should only trace the midpoint of the object, and then we can change the space to local as well, and we should have a smooth following track. And we need to limit the end. So if it's just going to keep tracking from the start forever, unless we limit it to either the start or the end, we want to limit it from the end, and the amount probably 20 or something. So you can see once we do that, it will follow behind a certain length. So that looks okay for us to get started on, and then we'll turn our plane back on, and then we want to throw in a vertex map. And what we're going to do is drag our tracer into the vertex map here. There are a couple different options for spline objects in vertex maps. So along creates a 0 to 1 value from the start to the end of the spline, and the radius creates a 0 to 1 from the innermost part of the spline to the outermost part, which you define with the radius here. You can also do both, which is what we're going to use. So it creates a 0 to 1 from the spline inside out, and then a 0 to 1 also from the start to the end. So you'll see what I'm talking about here. Let's set the radius to something like 20, and yeah, you can see it following along our spline. So it's from the outside in, and also from the start to the end. If we switch this to just along, it's going crazy for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why this isn't working in just along mode, but I can show you radius. You can see it's just around the spline inside to out. It's not going from 0 to 1 from the start to the finish, which we need because we want our effect to be trailing. So let's set that to along in radius. Set it to 25, and then now we can add a displacer to our plane, and let's switch it from intensity to intensity centered to just intensity. And then in the shading, we're going to go to effects, and we're going to use our vertex map. So you click on that and then drop our vertex map in there. And let's see. Let's just restart. That's weird. Give me 1 second. Okay, so in your vertex map, make sure you click off use deformed points. We don't want it to try to be considering deformations. So that will allow the displacer to work. So okay, now we can see our effect trailing and displacing the plane underneath. And so let's hop back into our vertex map, do a little extra work, and then in the tracer, the next we're just clone it a couple times, and in the one above the base, let's set it to subtract and modify the radius to be smaller, like something like that, so we can see we've just cut out the inner part. Basically, we've just subtracted the inner part from the effect, which is what we want. We just kind of want this leading edge, like it would be trailing behind this like this sphere. It's kind of leaving a wake. It's got like a lip that is being displaced, and then kind of a wake traveling behind it. So that's what that looks like. And you can adjust the value of the displacer as well to get a little bit more exaggerated effect. The last thing that we can do is the same thing, same tracer, add a max to even emphasize the lip a little more, depending on how much we want to add on to it, and we don't want to lose our initial effect. So just a little bit, I think, would be fine. And we may not even need that, but then so yeah, that's pretty much the effect. We can also use a smooth or a delta mush after our displacer, and that can help to smooth out some of those artifacts. We can also obviously subdivide our plane. And another thing you can do is add in a jiggle deformer after the displacer and get a little bit extra motion, but you have to be kind of careful about how much you're applying, or else you're kind of probably going to lose some of what you had intended to get through the effect. So let's I'm not sure if the jiggle deformer here is really going to help us get the effect that we want, which is fine. I mean, I think it's kind of better in the simplicity of how it looks without it, and it's going to be way faster without it to calculate and everything. Okay, y'all, that's going to be everything for this one. It's a pretty simple, straightforward effect, but a cool one, and you can do some other cool things with it. You could you can substitute any objects into here for the spheres. You could also use a cloner here. So instead of just the two spheres we had, you could use a cloner, which we could set that up really quickly. And let's see, we'll need that to be in our spheres null, so it's rotating. And then you can see we get some cool patterns from that as well. So just think of the things you could use this for, and hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.